it.
Yep.
LSU Football.
I was going to get there.
Aaron Anderson. He's
your guy.
My guy. And I'll hand up. I want him. Glad to have him back. I think it goes to show how far you can go in 1 year whenever you see, I guess, Florida and what they look like in the bowl game, and you lose your quarterback who's opted out. Like, it seems like almost two ships passing in the night, and then you get LSU where they are adding pieces, and then you get an Aaron Anderson in the portal, almost if you're have half a brain, able to solve your not only return game on kickoffs and punts, but you're able to add a weapon that I don't think a lot of people in the country have. Like, you didn't get to see it at Alabama because he got hurt early on, but he is somebody that if you haven't seen him play, type his name in. It's Aaron Anderson, and then go look at what he did whenever it looks like he's just toying with kids.
I would love to know what that November 6th game did to his mindset.
Mm-hmm.
When he came down here in an Alabama uniform to watch that game or be a part of that game. Obviously, he didn't play that much. Be a part of that game and in that environment and how the game ended up. I wonder how far that went in his mindset the rest of the season and into the decision that he made.
We've talked about that too. It's like whenever you're at home and you're from Louisiana, it's easy to say I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to leave the state. I'm going to go somewhere. I don't want to, I'm going to spread my wings and fly a different way, right? And you come back to Baton Rouge and you're like, damn.
I could be celebrating right now.
I didn't want to leave that. Like, you finally feel like you're at home again. It's the first time you're back home. Like, what do they say? Out of sight, out of mind type of thing. So when you're at Alabama, you're not here. You're not in the middle of everything around Louisiana. You kind of forget about it. You come back and you see it. It's like, maybe I didn't make the right decision. And I'm not playing. I kind of want to go back home. Uh-oh. Well, we got to fix that thing. It's all right. Look, we're getting there. Till we get it.
There we go. That's where it is. Yeah, I'm all in the mic too right now.
I'm looking at him. Look at that. We did it. We fixed it. Thanks, Lloyd.
Yep.
You're just the producer. You're the mechanic. You're the IT guy.
Jack of all trades.
Man of many hats.
Master of none.
Hey, who was the other?
Underwear on.
Who was the other receiver? Who was the other receiver that year out of Louisiana that went to Alabama?
Shaz Preston.
That's right. Did he play any this year?
No, but he hasn't hit the portal yet. It doesn't seem like he will. He's also another one that was a very Louisiana guy. The thing with the Aaron Anderson thing that makes it very interesting is what they do at Edna Carr is, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, is the coach doesn't let you decommit, essentially. He says if you commit to a school, you have to honor your commitment. But with the Ed Orgeron effect and everything that happened, he was like, well, obviously this is like mitigating circumstances, So he's able to take his visit to Alabama, commit to Alabama. But I think there's a lot of merit to what you're saying. Whenever he comes to Tiger Stadium, it looks like that, and that's the place he wanted to go. And then it's hard to say that it's like, oh, there's an opening for me there because LSU's receiver room is crowded, but he also feels like he's a difference maker in terms of I'm gonna be able to get on the field no matter what.
I'd also say this too. Obviously, we talked about the November 6th game, but I'd also say like shows a lot too because if this place is done right, when it's done right, it's hard to turn down. And I don't care if you're from here or from somewhere else. It's really hard to turn this place down.
And like you're right. Like no matter where you're from, right? You could live in Baton Rouge, and it'd be hard to turn on.
If you showed up November 6th,
I mean, look at all the guys that come in here. Like, listen, all the guys that we've played with that didn't even play football, they come down here and you're like, damn, like if you're a football recruit and you see this, how do you not show up?
But for saying it too, you got to remember, dude. Like if you take what happened November 6th, and obviously not exactly that night, but I'd say up through maybe 16-ish, you were pretty much getting that kind of an atmosphere game in and game out, right? And so it's hard to show up here, get that atmosphere, and say, nah, this ain't the one for me. And I don't really care where you're from. When this place is done right, it's hard to walk away from here and not be like supremely impressed about what what the experience you got.
Which it seems like that's why you've got Toviano. That's why it seems like you're gonna get Desmond Ricks, who's on his official visit right now. He's a 5-star guy, and all these guys that are from Louisiana that have left are coming back in the portal, which is good to see. And it's good that Brian Kelly has kind of seems like he's got a stronghold on Louisiana again, which is
Frank Wilson.
Well, that's definitely part of it, but like he understands what he needs to do to have it, right? That's obviously a big part of it. But there's an article that you put in the doc, which I appreciate, and it talks about some of these other coaches talking about what has made Brian Kelly a successful recruiter in Louisiana when that was kind of the biggest question. And it just talks about how he's very genuine, he's very open, he's very honest, and he comes off as if he cares a lot about the player, which he does, right? I think we've all noticed that in his conversations and when he has his pressers. And I'm going through some of these quotes in his presser, and he's very honest about some of the stuff. He's not just going to say stuff to get to make you happy because you heard it, right? Like he's going to say things that he means. He's going to be very calculated on how